Yo, what is up? What is up, YouTube awesome family? It is K right here, back at it with another good live stream for you guys today. I'm gonna rehash a little bit more of the Javante Tank Davis fight card, and then on top of that, we're gonna be talking about Big Shot Shaw and Fa Ajagba for this upcoming week, and then on top of that, I'm gonna throw some other topics in there. I mean, there's some also. Uh, like I was also going to talk about the Oshaki Foster and Ray Vargas fight that's set for February 11th, and yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, boxing's going to be on fire, and I think heading into the 14th, and then definitely January 21st. Actually, no, there's nothing going on other than the Undisputed Promotions fight card. I'm gonna watch that on Fight.tv. I'll probably pay for that just to watch it, just to support the people that I like. Then unfortunately, Charlo fight card that got pushed back, so that's gonna be pretty weird, like a pretty whack. But I mean, as far as that goes, I'll probably just watch UFC or other sports. But yeah, man, I'm just waiting up on D-Hive to come through, but yeah, until he comes here, I will just talk about all the fights that are happening. We got Ray Vargas coming in. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Um, hold on. All right. Yeah, give me 1 second. Alright, there you go. Alright, cool. Yeah, but we have a pretty good stacked card with all the fight cards that I'm talking about. We have Stephen Big Shot Shaw and that card, which I'm hoping Brian Norman Jr. he's on that card. And I know that Haven Brady and all those guys, they're gonna be on that card. Yeah, it's gonna be a lit ass card. And we got D-Hive. Yo, what
Can you
is
hear me?
up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
All right. And first of all, what's your whole take on the Javante Davis card? Did you think it was a good card or?
Yeah, no, I mean, this shit's funny, man. Yeah, I was entertained by the card. I mean, of course, there was some fuck shit that happened. Fucking Rashidi's goofy ass fucked around and lost, which that shit was fucking hilarious. I mean, don't get me wrong. I knew the guy that I think he got robbed personally, and I knew the guy. Yeah, I knew the guy that he was fighting had a puncher's chance, but I didn't think they'd fucking give it to him. That shit was insanity. But yeah, no. So and this is the problem with ducking. This is the problem with ducking. A loss to Boots, you could have kept your dignity. Now you look like a bitch. Now you look stupid. This is the same mistake Lomachenko made with Teofimo. This is the same mistake that Teofimo made with Kambosos. And now this dumbass made it with some random dude named Villa. And it's like, this is what you get. This is what you get. This is why you don't duck. I bet you he's wishing to Almighty God he fought Boots now, because at least if Boots whooped his ass, you'd still have some credibility. Oh, you're supposed to lose to Boots. That's perfectly fine. But nope. Went out like a complete bitch. As far as Hector's concerned, I admit I thought Tank would clear him earlier, but that is what it is. Ultimately he quit. I don't personally believe there was anything wrong with his eyes or any of that stuff. I mean, people can say whatever they want, but the reality of the situation is Hector was looking out for his own well-being and making sure he still had a career. He didn't want to end up like Ados, your boss in the league. Yeah. That dude. Yeah, so he just, he decided, well, I clearly can't beat Tank. I'm probably not winning any rounds. I probably won like 2 rounds max. Tank is landing the cleaner, more effective shots, and I don't want to end up in a fucking hospital, so let me just quit. He basically did what Rigo did against Lomachenko, except he just used an excuse. Like, Rigo just said, fuck it, I'm not beating this guy, so why would I continue fighting? Whereas Hector just made up a bullshit excuse, like, oh, I can't see out of my eye. It's like, nah, you're fine. You're just not going to win, and you're going to get knocked out, so I get it. You can't say as a fighter, I'm afraid of getting knocked out and keep your fan base, so he had to make up something. It's cool. I respect it, but let's call it what it is. People are like, "Oh my God, you can't blame him. You're not a fighter. He did the honorable thing." No, he quit. It's cool. I'm not insulting him, but let's keep it real. He fucking quit. He quit. There was nothing wrong with him. He knew he was not gonna win the fight, and he was scared about getting hurt. He quit. Let's just keep it real. Let's not make up shit.
Yeah. Two things. The first thing about the ducking thing. I think I don't know if this is true, but I'm just switching fight cards for like a second. But I'm looking on Tapology.com on the Ray Vargas O'Shaquie Foster card, and supposedly Subriel Matias and Jeremiah Ponce unfortunately got rescheduled once again. And
yeah, Ponce don't want none of that. Ponce gonna get destroyed. Dude, I told you that his visa. I told you that his visa issues were bullshit. I told you that.
Dude,
I was like, there's no fucking visa issues. He's scared of getting his ass whooped.
Dude, the IBF just gotta take his spot away, man. Like, I'm so effing pissed off, man. Like,
yeah, I told you that, dude. The moment you told me that Ponce got that fight got postponed for visa issues, I knew it was bullshit. I knew it was bullshit.
Yeah, because like Argentina doesn't have any visa problems with any migrant coming over to the States. Like I don't know too much about the ins and outs about getting a visa, but all I know is that if you're good as far as working wise, you can come over to the States however long you want to, as long as you're, following the certain laws and regulations to come over globally. But I just think like the whole visa thing, like, it's a duck, because it's like, if you're having visa issues, why are you fighting, at all? Like, why was it?
I don't understand what the fuck he's trying to do. Like, bro, Matias isn't going anywhere. Are you trying to wait him out till he gets injured in camp or some shit? Like, you're gonna have to fight him, and yeah, you're gonna fucking lose. Just go in there and try your best, and if you can't handle it, just take a knee like those British do. Stop acting like a bitch. Let's get this shit over with. Because honestly, I don't even care. I don't even care about this fight, because Matias is gonna like destroy this dude. I want to see Matias fight some other people. Like, I'm talking like Matias versus Haney, Matias versus Gary Antoine Russell, like some good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ponce is wasting fucking time.
I just want him to get the title so bad, so that way we can see the big fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to say like he should just focus on this fight and therefore not worry about the other fights. Like, this is his opportunity, and he deserves it. Like, he Subriel is doing the same thing what Villa, should have, be in the position for. Like,
Subriel Matias basically has the same career arc as Virgil Ortiz Jr. and doesn't get any respect.
Yeah. So he should be given his credibility right now. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, I want to see him. Like, honestly, the sad thing about it, like, I'll even compare it with the Hector Garcia situation. More people that dick ride Hector Garcia for the sake of saying like, oh no, he tried his best, he did a good job. Those are the same people that will turn their backs against him and say that, oh, Tank fought like a bum. And they'll do the same thing for Subriel Matias and say, oh, well, he hasn't done anything, blah, blah, blah. But yet he's in position for a title, and he had to work his way to the top, and he did what he had to do to get up there to be at least somewhat credible. So, right. To me, I personally believe it's a double standard that people throw onto people that are on the coincidental list versus people that are on the hope list. That's like
Subriel Matias hasn't fought anybody, but that's not his fault. He's been fighting his way through the rankings like everybody else. It's the same as people talk about Jaron Ennis. Oh, he hasn't fought anybody. That's not his fucking fault. Put your man in front of him and see what happens. Same with Subriel Matias. You think some shit is sweet, put your man in front of him and see what happens.
Yeah. He doesn't even trash talk. He just goes in there and just fights,
That's because the nigga's a killer. He doesn't need to trash talk. People know what he is. That's why people don't talk about Subriel Matias, but they know he's there. They don't want to have their dude fight him because he's fucking scary. Subriel Matias, like I tried to tell somebody that, like, if Tank goes to 140 and he like tries to fight Subriel Matias, that's not a sweet fight. Tank might fuck around and get beat up. Like, that's not some shit where, Yeah, like I tried to explain that to someone. They're like, "Oh, Tank's this, like that." I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds good, but Tank has never killed anybody." So
Yeah, Matias doesn't care about that.
yeah, exactly. Tank is cool, but Tank is not a killer. Tank talks all that killer shit for the media. Super Matias is a real killer. Him, Kovalev, Canelo, these people have all murdered people in the ring by not murdered, but they've killed people with their fucking hands. And and the thing is too, Super Matias punches hard, but he also turns in his hooks. That means that he has no hand issues. You're not going to be dealing with somebody with soft gloves when it comes to Super Matias. So niggas need to just, they need to show some respect because this shit is not sweet over here. Yeah, the motherfucker has a loss because his boxing skills aren't there, but when he touches you, you move.
Yeah, and that's what creates out the equalizer. But
Yeah, and the weirdest part is Super Matias punches don't even look hard, but with both hands he knocks dudes over. Like his punches look soft, but all of a sudden dudes are flying all over the place. It's the weirdest. It's the weirdest shit in boxing I've ever seen. He looks like he's barely touching you, and dudes are like flying all over the ring, fucking bleeding from their eyeballs and shit. Shit don't make no sense, bro.
yeah, it's just like what Deontay Wilder says. Like but the minute I hit you, your life is being taken like away. But
Yeah. So people like Ponce needs to stop fucking around and wasting time. He's acting like fucking Munguia at this point. Get the fuck out of the way. Trying to get some goddamn boxing. You're over here acting like a bitch because you don't want to get your ass whooped. Like I always say, if you're afraid of getting destroyed by someone, just do what Rocky Field shot and take a knee, and then just go home. Like it's not that serious. Just go home.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like,
for real, bro. These bitch dudes.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna finalize and say that I hope Matias becomes a champion and he can, pave with the real way of, real, Puerto Rican talent and, continue to give us, hardcore fans, what we want, the best fight and the best. And
right, me too.
Yeah, so I'm happy for him, man. I hope he, evolves to become hopefully like a multi-divisional champion. But that's gonna be very interesting.
Yep. Yep. But anyways, back to the we were talking about the fucking Tank card and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, now the conversation on Jaron Ennis is he went in with this guy. This guy clearly was coming in simply to survive and to go 12 because he knew that would be a moral victory because he couldn't actually win the actual fight. So now people are saying, "Oh, Jaron Ennis is a hype job. He's been exposed." The same bullshit. And the reality of the situation is these guys still see Jaron as a threat because now they're using that fight as a justification for why Jaron Ennis shouldn't fight Spencer Crawford. It's the same bullshit Canelo used with fucking Charlo and Montiel. And it's pathetic because this is why we don't get the good fights because good fights are killed in the court of public opinion before they can even be fucking made. If you have a fighter that's on top and you're a fan base and you're not pressuring him to fight someone that's dangerous and might beat him, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. So it just sucks to see, bro, honestly.
Yeah, so like now that Gervonta cleared Hector, like do you think that the career of Gervonta's career needs to be fulfilled by just fighting Devin and Shakur, or like how do you think 2023 will play out for Gervonta Tank Davis?
Oh, sorry, I was just getting some gas. Give me 1 second to get back in the car.
Okay.
Oh, all right, cool. Well, to be honest with you, if Tank fought, I mean, you already pretty much know how I feel about the shit. If Tank fought Shakur and Devin and beat them both, I would never ask Tank for anything again. Literally, if he just beat those two dudes, I will never ask him for shit else again. He can fight his cousins. He can fight my fucking grandma. He can fight whoever the fuck he wants. If he beat those two dudes, I would never ask him for shit else. But this is boxing, bro. And based on what I've seen, Tank fans are pretty much no different than Bud fans. They're no different than Canelo fans. They don't actually care who Tank fights. All they care about is how much money he makes. They just all they talk about is how much money he makes, how big the event is, how nice his braids were, and like I literally see niggas like getting fucking soaking wet over Tank's braids. Like what? Like what the fuck is wrong with y'all, dude? Like again, it's acting like fucking groupies, like talking about his braids. This like it's just weird groupie shit. So no, he's definitely not being pressured to fight Devin Haney. So that fight probably won't happen. I don't believe Shakur actually wants to fight Tank. I don't think, especially where Shakur at in his career. Shakur has already been built. People are basically saying he's the best fighter in the world. Why the fuck would he take a dangerous fight like Tank? Why the fuck would he do that? He's already like that's what I keep talking about when it comes to fan representation. You guys build these dudes so much that they don't want to fucking fight. Like people talk about how we're building Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis wants to fight all these people. Jaron Ennis is not even signed. Jaron Ennis is not even signed to PBC, so he can fight on any network. Even if you're signed to PBC, you can still fight with any network. That's just a bullshit lie they made up to justify garbage. Yeah. But yeah, Jaron Ennis actually wants to fight these fucking people. But you got guys like Shakur allegedly sending contracts to people like William Zepeda. You're on Top Rank. If the sides of the street bullshit is real, why the fuck are you sending contracts to William Zepeda? Like, what the hell is wrong? Like, you just dumb shit. He calls out William Zepeda. He calls out Kambosos, who just got his ass whooped twice. Like, why are you doing that, bro? Why? Like you know what you're doing. And someone on Twitter laid it out perfectly. They laid it out perfectly. They fucking waited until Devin Haney was having weight issues. All of a sudden, Shakur conveniently misses weight. They move up while Haney and Loma are in negotiations because they know it's going to be Haney's last fight at 135, and they can come in and sweep up whoever's there. Meanwhile, Tank isn't interested in fighting anyone like Shakur any fucking way. So it's a perfect time for Shakur to, again, be crowned this fucking king of the world and fight whoever to prove it. His best win is Robson Conceição, a guy who's never held the belt in his entire life, who couldn't punch. Like this, and he's the best. Like what? It's just crazy to me, bro. Like it's fucking insane. Like he hasn't even fought. He's barely even fought every style of fighter. So no, Tank's fans are not gonna push him to do shit. Shakur's fans are absolutely not gonna push him to do shit. Shakur's fans say Shakur's the fucking boogeyman. Even though if he would have kept his WBO belt, he could be challenging Devin Haney directly. But never mind that. Oh, he just said one day he was struggling to make weight and we believed him. Okay, cool. Like, Devin Haney has made his weight issues known since he fought Jojo Diaz. Shakur just comes out one day and says, nah, I can't make weight, fuck it. What? So you lose the belt on the scale? Are you fucking serious? You're a unified champion. So, I don't think Tank fights any of these dudes. I honestly don't even think Tank fights Ryan. I think Ryan pulls out. Ryan already ducked Tank. And it's funny because the sides of the street bullshit doesn't matter for Ryan Garcia. This motherfucker has been fighting on DAZN his entire goddamn career via Golden Boy, and the only person Tank has consistently pursued to fight is Ryan fucking Lion Garcia, whose biggest opponent is crippling fucking anxiety. So man, I don't have any hope. I know what I want for Tank, but Tank doesn't really want that for himself, so I don't really care, to be honest. If Tank doesn't fight Haney or Shakur after Ryan, if it happens, I'm pretty much going to write him off. I'm not going to worry about him. I'm going to put him in the same category as Canelo. I'm just not going to really worry about it. I'm not going to buy the fights. I'm not going to care who you fight. I'm just going to move on. And I'm not really going to give a fuck, because that's all you can do with these dudes. That's all you can do at this point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, knowing that Gervonta, he's his own boss now, I think there's going to be more pressure on him if he does choose to, fight somebody that no one has ever asked him to fight. And like he said that he doesn't want to be in the sport any much longer. So I would assume he's going to try to push for the Haney and Shakur fight. But if none of those fights happen, then yeah, like I'm in the same boat with you. Like I'm not gonna think of Tank as like an all-time great fighter. Like I'll put him, basically C tier or B tier. Like
I put him with Terrence Crawford. Like
Yeah, yeah.
his career is basically almost like Terrence Crawford's minus the undisputed bullshit. But they've gone up. They've gone up multiple weight classes. Fought, maybe one good opponent, and the rest of them are B level or marginal. So yeah, like he's basically like it's funny listening to Terrence Crawford fans shit on Tank. It's like what the fuck, Terrence, same shit Tank's doing. It's just he's not making any fucking money. like what the fuck? Like come on, bro. But no, I disagree when you said that Tank is gonna feel the pressure. He's not. His fans don't. This event has proven his fans do not care who he fights. All they care about, much like Terrence Crawford's fans, is his health, wealth, and safety. That's all they care about. They don't care about him fighting the best. All they care about is how much money he makes, how good he looks, how good the highlight reel is, his braids, and his fucking shirt, and his tattoos, and blah, 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 all that shit. That's all they care about. They don't care about shit else.
Yeah, this is sad, man. And it's just like if he continues fighting like just like absolute nobodies for the rest of his career, then I'm just gonna be done. Like I rather I'm more interested in Devin Haney's career, when it's all said and done, than Gervonta's career. Sadly.
Yeah, Devin Haney wants to put on consistently competitive fights. Devin Haney is actively struggling to make 135, and he's trying to go. He's really working his ass off going into a fight to fight fucking Lomachenko, some guy that people said was pound for pound number one. And every time you mention a fight with Tank, you got a bunch of dumb niggas who have never done any significant business in their life talking about, oh, if that fight's gonna happen, Tank need A-side. Tank A-side. Tank gotta give it, you gotta be A-side. Tank's always A-side. Like, we know, motherfucker. No one cares about Tank and his fucking money. He can have the money. Is he going to make the fucking fights, though? All these motherfuckers do is come out and pocket watch and suck dick, and it's fucking aggravating. We get it. Tank is the A side. Can we get the fight now? Haney has shown that he's willing to take shit deals to make the big fights happen. He's shown that. He took nothing for Kambosos, and he had to do it not once but twice. He'll take B side to Tank. Are you gonna press Tank to fight Haney, or are you just gonna sit back and suck dick? Oh, Tank need A side. Tank need A. Niggas that work at Chick-fil-A talking about A side. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No, dude, it's aggravating. I literally used to work in entertainment law, and you got niggas that fucking like plow bricks for a living, telling me about how business works. Like, dude, it's the most aggravating shit on the planet. Bunch of bum ass. Oh, Tank need A side if we gonna get that fight. Talking like they're a member of the fucking team. Like, shut the fuck up, you bum. Like, Jesus, that shit is aggravating.
Yes. Speaking of which, like, I just hate it when people try to talk about business in boxing, because, when they try spreading lies about, like, what happens in negotiations, like, doesn't that, like, kind of, like, create some form of, like, fraudulent behavior, right? Like, if you could, like, do something like that, like, doesn't that give, like, like a certain team to, like, have, like, their, legal, I should say, their legal protection unit, come after you, like, if you try to spread any misinformation, right?
Crod, the reality of the situation is that the business of boxing is it's really not as complicated as people want to make it. The reality of the situation is when two fighters actually want to fight, they will fight. And I'm not talking about just any two fighters. I'm talking about like two champions or two people at the top of a division, like real certified dudes. Like for example, let's use Tank and Haney. I don't know how many fucking times we got to debunk the size of the street, business of boxing bullshit. I literally posted on Twitter today a quote from Eddie Hearn saying that the reason why he didn't sign Devin Haney is so no one can use the size of the street thing as an excuse. People still use it as an excuse. So no bullshit. The same people that will tell you he wants will say Tank can't fight this person because they're signed over here. Gamboa fought on Top Rank. Ryan fights on the zone. What the fuck are you talking about? It's just lies. And the reality of the situation is that these people know that it's lies. They just don't want their favorite fighter to fight someone that might beat them. And that's sad. Like, why do you care? Like, I want Haney to fight Tank because I'm not sure if Haney can win. That's the exciting part of boxing. These motherfuckers don't want Tank to fight Haney because they're afraid Tank to fuck around and lose. Like, that shit is fucking weird to me, bro. But basically, when there's enough financial incentive for two sides to work together, whether they have an antagonistic relationship or not, they're going to make that happen. Fury and Wilder, they made that happen. Both sides hated each other. Wilder had active litigation pending against them, and they still made the fight happen because there was so much fucking money involved. That's what this is all about. This is all about fucking money. So the financial incentive is there.
Yeah.
When Mikey Garcia wasn't no superstar, but he said, "God damn it, Bob, I want big ass fights." So he put his foot down and didn't do shit else until he got the big fights, and then he fought Errol Spence. Fucking, like Tank. Tank's been wanting Ryan Garcia for the fucking longest. And what happened? He put his foot down and said, "God damn it, I want Ryan Garcia," and now he's making it happen. It's just up to Ryan to actually go fight him. So when these dudes talk about, "Oh, the business, it's the business, it gotta make shit," shut the fuck up. You don't know shit. It's just like this Crawford. Besides the blah blah blah. Terrence Crawford is 5 PB fighter on 34 Porter. And these motherfuckers will say, "Oh, the business, the street, a big, shut the fuck up." God, just dumb dick riding. I don't understand. I will never understand why these dudes are afraid for professional combat sports athletes. These men signed up to participate in combat fights. God damn. Fuckers kill.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And like, I just never really believed in that whole fallacy at all, because it's like, it's not true. Like, if you and I want to fight X, Y, and B in a major I don't think I could hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, alright. Yeah, can you hear me? No. Hello? Hello? Oh. Yeah, but just to piggyback off of that, I was going to say, in terms of, what Diab was saying, like, I don't believe the business of boxing, has, the size of what the street nonsense, because all it really is just a very nonsensical terminology that people use for fighters that don't want to fight, let the best opposition, and, they'll do anything in their power to say, "Oh, well, it's because of the size of what the street nonsense." But it's like, at the end of the day, like, if you want to fight, then it doesn't really matter. Like, I'll even use, like, the female fight between Alicia Baumgartner and Michaela Mayer. There was no A side, B side over that, but the thing is that Alicia Baumgartner, she was with Matchroom with Eddie Hearn, and Michaela, she was with Top Rank. So, case in point, like, they both hated one another, but there was nothing holding back the unification for them to fight each other, and they voluntarily came together. Like, this wasn't something that was mandated. Like, they got the job done. So, why wouldn't they make let the fight between each other? Wait, hold on. All right. Here's the DF. Yeah. Oh. Can you hear me?
Hey, Croc, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, my internet cut out. But anyways, like I was saying, the only reason why we got Canelo versus Triple G was because the fans pressured them both.
I think he chopped out again.
He made more money than Triple G, all that shit. And you know what? He still made concessions to Triple G. Like I was saying before the internet cut out, Canelo was the A side money wise, but Triple G said that he didn't want Canelo wearing his own no boxing, no life horsehair gloves on it. And that's why we got that fight. But that's because people encourage Canelo to fight Triple G at all costs. People are not putting that pressure on Tank. People don't care who Tank fights. All they talk about is Tank A side. He has to bow down and do whatever Tank say. Blah, 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 blah. Just sucking dick. So that's why we're not gonna get any of the big fights. Because if you're already the best, people already worship you. You're already making big money. Why would you take any risk? Why? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like people always reference back in the day, and Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. That's back in the day when fans demanded the best fight the best, or they weren't paying for the shit. That's why you got those fights. That's back in the day. Now all these kids, and yes, it's kids. It's young ass, don't have any fucking life experience, jobless, playing Call of Duty all goddamn day ass kids that are treating this shit like reality TV. Oh yeah, I know, son. Yeah, he got the clean braids, he got the tattoos. Oh, he looks so good. Like, okay, cool, but is he gonna fight some people? Like, it's just a bunch of weak fucking Real Housewives bullshit. Back in the day, people didn't spend their hard-earned money on boxing unless real niggas were fighting. Now motherfuckers will support anything. Oh, look at his braids. All I care about is him looking good. He gonna get a knockout. Yeah, he making bread. Like, okay, cool, great. Like I said, if you're the type of fan that just wants to see your favorite fighters win, hey, that's perfectly fine. But just admit that. Stop making up stories. Stop saying, oh, it's the business. Stop saying, oh, he ducking. Like, stop saying all that bullshit. Just say, I don't want that fight because I just want to see my guy look good. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. I think that definitely explains it, because like I was trying to say, like earlier, like, I don't think the business of boxing has any sides of the street bullshit at all. It's like, if you want to fight, then you're gonna fight. But like, for example, like whenever I talk about these matchups that I want to see, like, Keyshawn Davis versus Frank Martin, I think Frank Martin will come to the table, but Keyshawn Davis, will he come to the table? That's his problem. Because if he's going to bring ego, aside of everything, then he's going to be, held, like, accountable for his actions. But for Frank Martin, we already know, like, he doesn't need to say anything, like, about negotiations with Keyshawn, because he knows that, if he wants to beat Keyshawn up, and he's going to beat him, then he's not going to bring up any drama to it. And on top of that, it's like, why would you even think for like a second that any fighter cannot make like a fight with with another fighter? And I think like the only reason why, like promoters like Bob Arum and everybody else that tries to bring up the sides about the street nonsense is because they don't want their guy to lose. But it's like, you can't control your fighter if they want to fight. But if they don't want to fight the best, then that's why that they say that these fights can't happen, because the fans marginalize them to believe that they don't need to fight nobody good until people actually wake up and be like, look, you're fighting bums, you have to be fighting tough opposition now. So like that's my take.
Right. And also, I just want to make something clear. Uh, yeah, I just want to make something clear. People have never had an issue going to top rank. I say again, people have never had an issue going to top rank. It's the top rank people that always have some sort of issue going somewhere else. And someone actually had to admit this, like a top rank stan had to actually admit this. Bob Bam controls who fights on top rank. Al Heyman doesn't control who fights on Showtime because PBC is not a promotional organization. It's an advisory company. That's all it is. Bob Bam is the one that keeps fucking bribing the WBO to make sure he always has a champion. So again, people have never had an issue going to top rank. All types of people have gone to top rank. All types of DAZN fighters, all types of PBC fighters. It's the people that have the issue leaving top rank. For example, they were talking about, oh, Haney can't fight. He's stuck on DAZN. Haney literally goes to top rank, and people are still saying the size of the street shit. It doesn't matter. Like these people, again, these people just don't want these fights, bro. They don't want these fucking fights. It's the same reason why Tank fans keep worrying about who Devin Haney's fighting. Oh, Devin Haney need to be fighting Loma Ishikura. Who the fuck is Tank gonna fight? Oh, it doesn't matter. Tank makes bank. Like, it's just pussy shit, man. It's the same with Spence and Crawford. Spence gotta fight Ugas. Spence gotta fight Ennis. Spence gotta fight Stanionis. Virgil Ortiz Jr. Spence gotta fight all these niggas. Who Crawford gonna be fighting? It don't matter. He getting the bag to feed his children. What? Get that pussy ass, weak ass bullshit the fuck out of here, bro. That's bitch shit. That's bitch shit. And what's terrible, and Crowd, I swear to God, what's terrible is that the fights that they don't want to happen are the biggest bags. Spence versus Crawford makes more money than any event either one of them have ever put on. Tank versus Haney, bruh, niggas are still asking me, is Tank versus Haney gonna sell? Haney fought Cambosis. It's just stupid. Haney fought Cambosis in front of 40,000 fucking people. And Tank fans keep telling me that Tank will sell with anybody. So wouldn't they do the most numbers with each other? Like, logically speaking, wouldn't they then do the most numbers with each other? If Tank can sell out with anybody, why not Devin Haney? He's got millions of followers on Instagram. He's the undisputed champion of the fucking world. He fought in front of 40,000 people, packed out. He's undefeated. Like, what the fuck? And then people will say, oh, Tank don't care about belts. You don't have to care about the belts. You could have fought Haney and vacated to not pay any of the sanctioning fees. You can fight Haney, whoop his ass, and then vacate and not pay a single fee. I mean, what the fuck? Devin Haney himself doesn't even pay sanctioning fees because he negotiated that into his promotional deal. You're telling me Haney can avoid sanctioning fees, but Tank can't? Like, dude, it's all just bullshit. These dudes just don't want these fucking fights because they're in love. They are in love with Tank. They are in love with Terrence Crawford. They are in love with these motherfuckers. That's the long and short of it. That's the long and short of it. So yeah, so like this is how it's gonna be. That's why I go so hard on fan bases, because you guys have a lot of responsibility. Because fighters will respond. That's what, like, fighters on Twitter, they respond to certain things. They respond to pressure. If fans get together and say, we don't want to see shit, but you fight this person, fighters will do it. Like, I mean, look at Demetrius Andrade. The reason why Andrade went to Showtime and changed his fighting style to be more aggressive is because fans demanded that out of him. Fans said, Andrade, get the fuck away from the zone, and you got to press the action. You got to be aggressive. Boxing. And what did Andrade do? Andrade did what he was asked. Look at Devin Haney. The fans told Devin Haney, motherfucker, if you want that fight, get away from her, take your ass to the top rank, take Australia, accept what's offered, and fight. Haney did that, and he still doesn't get any respect. Meanwhile, Tank hasn't fought anybody people wanted to see him fight. Tank didn't fight Tevin Farmer. Tank didn't fight Gary Russell. Tank didn't fight Lomachenko.
Yeah, Tank didn't fight any of those guys at 130.
Bro, like, come on. Like, Tank hasn't fought anybody motherfuckers have asked him to fight. And these dudes, he'll just come out with an opponent, and guys will be like, oh, yeah, that guy is good because, because he's good. Clearly he's good. Niggas have to Google who the fuck Isaac Cruz was. And keep in mind, Isaac Cruz was somebody that lost to somebody that wasn't even as skilled as Tank. So it's just like, bro, like, my God, like, these niggas don't care about boxing. They really don't. They just want to see some dude just shine. And that's cool, but just admit it. I just hate when these same bitch dudes make excuses, push narratives, and say, oh my God, this is why we're not getting the fights. No, we're not getting the fights because you guys are bitches.
Yes.
That's why we're not getting the fucking fights.
Yeah, I was also gonna chime in about Isaac Cruz. He had a very controversial decision against Thomas Mattis, and I was trying to find that fight and I couldn't find it. But I'm not surprised that Isaac Cruz, he doesn't, want to fight guys of that caliber again. But he's so eager to fight Tank again. But it's like you realize Gervonta's gonna brutally sleep you. Like he's just not. Like basically Gervonta's competition shows that he's levels above the guys that his fans try to hype up, and it's just clear that Gervonta, he's comfortable where he's at right now, until anything is somewhat changed in the future.
Yeah, I mean Cruz is ducking because Cruz is not a boxer. Cruz has very limited skills. His entire fighting style is based off of his power. And like I said, Cruz got beat by somebody that we've never heard of before. Cruz came in fighting Tank with a loss. Like people treat Cruz like he was undefeated. Cruz had already been outboxed by some random dude with fucking that we've never heard of before. So people keep talking, oh, he's that. He's already been beaten by somebody that's not even close to Tank's skill level. What the fuck makes you think he fucks with Tank? And also, he has no jab. Like, he doesn't jab at all. So it's just like, yeah. And also, he fought one of these dudes. I think like Romero or somebody, and I thought that fight was a draw. So I think some dude that Michelle Rivera may have fought him. But yeah, I thought that fight was a draw. I didn't think he won that shit. So yeah, like Cruz is fucking marginal. He's a fantastic power puncher, but he's a marginal boxer. And he's not fast enough or skilled enough to even emulate like a Mike Tyson or anything. He's a marginal ass dude. And people will big up Cruz because he was fucking number 2 or in the IBF mandatory or whatever, but then shit on Kambosos despite being the goddamn unified lightweight world champion. Like, make it make sense, bro. It's just dick riding. Like, make it make fucking sense. Kambosos would fucking probably beat Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like these dudes pick and choose. Like the logic is so inconsistent. Like it's just funny as fuck. These dudes will hate on Terrence Crawford for putting a bag over an Errol Spence fight, but then they'll fucking praise Tank for putting a bag over all his big fights. It's just dumb shit, bro. It's just dumb shit, and these bitch dudes are getting exposed, and then they can't handle this shit. It's just funny watching them fucking flounder around. And then whenever you bring up a comparable situation, all they do is, oh, we're not talking about that. Like a bitch that got caught cheating. Oh, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this. Nah, motherfucker, your logic gotta add up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired of motherfuckers being inconsistent as fuck when it comes to somebody that they like.
Yeah, speaking of fighters getting exposed, I wanted to talk about the Jaron Ennis fight. Do you think this fight that he had with Karen really got him exposed, or?
Oh man, honestly, no. I don't think he got exposed, and here's why. Like I mentioned earlier, this Karen person. First of all, the only available tape on the internet of this guy is like 4 years old. So we have not been able to see him fight recently. So they had nothing to go off of. Second off, this Karen person knew he couldn't fuck with Boots on a boxing tip. He knew he couldn't. He knew he couldn't beat Boots. So his entire job was to come to the United States and not get stopped. Why? Because they know. Because he figures Gerard Ennis is the big bad, is the big super big bad boogeyman monster. So if I go 12, that's basically like beating Gerard Ennis because they studied the American fan base. And you know what? They were right. Because now everyone's saying, oh my God, Gerard Ennis automatically loses to the fucking champions at welterweight. And it's like, yeah, Corinne was right. And now they're gonna now Corinne is fucking world famous, and he's probably gonna go on to get some decent fights, all because he went 12 with fucking Gerard Ennis. I mean, the guy was, hardly engaging. He got some good hooks off on the inside, but most of the time he was just using lateral movement. And I will admit, Gerard Ennis did make mistakes. Gerard Ennis spent so much time pushing for the knockout that he didn't lull Corinne into a false sense of security and let him walk on to the punches. I mean, come on, crowd, you box. You know how they say, don't push for the knockout, let the knockout come. Well, Gerard Ennis was so busy trying to impress the fans with a knockout that, he didn't do everything he should have, and he let Corinne off the hook. But it's funny because this was a 12-round domination. Corinne did not win a single round. He didn't have a single moment of success. And the punches he did land didn't even bruise Gerard Ennis. Didn't even bruise him. His eye wasn't swollen. He didn't have a black eye, whatever. But it's hilarious because people will say that's a shitty performance, but then guys like Terrence Crawford, guys like Virgil Ortiz Jr., they'll get fucking dropped and look like dog shit, but as long as they get a knockout, they still get praise. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, even Tank. Gamboa gave Tank a fucking black eye. But then they want to talk about Haney's performance with Gamboa, and he barely got touched. They want to talk about Gerard Ennis. Tank went 12 with fucking Cruz, and he got praised. But Gerard, and also Tank lost rounds in that fight. Gerard Ennis perfectly loses no rounds, doesn't even get hurt. All of a sudden, he does it like he sucks. And this is what I mean when it comes to the inconsistent logic. These dudes will say that Tank washes everybody despite constantly losing rounds because he gets knockouts. But Gerard Ennis goes 12 one time with this guy despite having mostly knockouts, and all of a sudden he loses to all the champs? Like, what the fuck? Like, Errol Spence Jr., like people will say, like, when you bring up Errol Spence Jr. and his performances, like, for example, Sean Porter, people will say Errol Spence Jr. intentionally didn't use his best boxing ability because he wanted to beat Sean Porter at his own game. Okay, fine. But he got a split decision, almost fucked around and lost, and he got wobbled in the 4th round. Gerard Ennis didn't use all of his boxing ability trying to push for a knockout to give the fans. And he still dominated 12-0. So which one's better? Because fucking Brooke got a majority decision and Keith Thurman got a unanimous decision. They handled Sean Porter better than Errol Spence Jr., but Errol Spence Jr. knocked Brooke the fuck out. So this is what I mean when people talk about all these triangle theories and all this bullshit. Just say you wanted an excuse to keep Gerard Ennis away from your favorite fighter, and now you have one. You wanted an excuse, and now you have one. That's it. Spence fans don't want Gerard Ennis fighting Spence. Crawford fans definitely don't want Crawford fighting Spence. Don't want Crawford fighting Spence or Ennis. So it's all this bullshit, bro. I mean, he wasn't exposed. Like, where did he struggle? People were saying that he needed to make adjustments. How are you making adjustments when your opponent is having no success? His opponent didn't win a single round. He won no rounds. So I'm like, you dudes just don't want these fights, bro. Again, you don't want Spence fighting Boots. You don't want Crawford fighting Boots. You don't want Crawford fighting Spence. Like, these guys don't want these fights, and that's why we're not getting them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just
talking about fucking exposed. If anything, with the fucking shots that Hector was able to land on Tank when he was in there fighting, honestly, I'm giving Frank Martin a better shot against Tank than I was at first, and Shakur. Shit, I'm thinking those fights might fuck. I'm thinking those fights might fuck around and go the distance now. Shit.
Yeah, that's gonna definitely show come fight night. Um, I just think at this point it's like if Jerron Ennis, if he comes out like, see now, um, now that Jerron Ennis, he's now in a good position with his whatchamacallit, his rankings, right? Um, I think honestly, if he wants to play his cards out correctly, um, I want to get your take on it, but do you think the right path for him next is to go for Terrence Crawford if the WBO plays it right to mandate him first to fight Crawford, and then let's just say he clears Crawford and fight Errol Spence for undisputed right away, or should he go after Errol Spence for the IBF, in which quote unquote it could be a duck by not fighting Crawford, and if he were to clear Spence, does that ruin like the welterweight timeline, depending on which route he takes?
um. So I'm gonna say this: no one is ducking Terrence Crawford because Terrence Crawford is a bitch. You can't duck someone who has proven that they're not willing to fight top competition. So, and also another thing, Jerron Ennis is still number 2 for the WBO, right? And one more thing, Terrence Crawford's mandatory slot is only available for petitioning once every 18 months. It's only been 14 months. So that means Boots would have to wait 4 months to even petition Crawford. I think Jerron Ennis needs to go for Errol Spence now and force him to fight or run. Now, and don't take any step aside money. If they get that fight, great. Do it, win. If not, you should fight, what's his name? Romain Villa in the meantime, in between time. If you can't get the Spence fight, absolutely. After fighting Villa, petition Terrence Crawford. But I can tell you this right now, Terrence Crawford is not going to fight Jerron Ennis. Terrence Crawford is a bitch. Terrence Crawford is a pussy that has proven time and time again he does not want to fight competition. He didn't want to fight Ray Robinson. He didn't want to fight Pacquiao. He didn't want to fight Spence. He's not going to fight Boots. So people that are saying Boots is ducking Crawford, they're just making themselves feel better. These are the same fucking retards that said that Spence was ducking Crawford, and Spence offered Crawford a contract to fight. So again, these dudes say whatever they need to. It's all just sucking dick. They don't want these fights. They just want their guy to just stay safe and keep winning. But Bud fans say everyone's ducking Terrence Crawford. Meanwhile, Terrence Crawford is the duck. Bud fans said Pacquiao ducked Crawford. Crawford's the one that didn't sign. Bud fans said Spence ducked Crawford. Crawford is the one that didn't sign. So, no, like, Boots is not ducking Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is a fucking pussy. And Spence fans that say Boots is ducking Crawford, those dumbasses just don't want Boots touching Spence. And you know what's funny? All these guys say that Boots just needs to stay active. He needs to stay active. He needs to fight all these other people. And you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna fucking make fun of him for following their advice and not fighting the champions. They're gonna make fun of him. They're gonna say, well, Boots could have been fighting the champions, but he was too busy fighting all these other random people. I thought you told the motherfucker to stay active. I thought you said, stay active, Boots. Stay active. Fight all these random people. Boots, stay active. Oh, he should have been trying to fight a champ, but he was too busy fighting random people, staying active. So it's nothing, bro. These dudes don't want these fights. It's plain and simple. These motherfuckers don't want these fights, and we're not gonna get them. We're not gonna get them.
Yeah, I think Geronimo should just continue to keep on winning, and hopefully we get to see him, get world championship status.
Yep,
like
he's gonna have to wait. He's gonna have to wait and scrap somebody over a vacant. That's pretty much it. Unless Spence really hates Thurman that much, grows a sack and is gonna fight Boots. But no, it'll most likely be Spence, Thurman, or whatever, or Spence versus some random motherfucker. And then Boots is gonna have to wait to scrap for a vacant. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, cause like I really want him to fight Crawford. I think if he beats Crawford and he's able to get undisputed like he says he wants to be in multiple weight divisions, I think that would be awesome. Like,
Yeah,
if
me too. But
yeah,
Crawford is a pussy. Crawford is a proven pussy.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
gonna be like the bigger problem.
yeah, yeah. Crawford is a very proven pussy. Crawford is a bitch. Crawford is basically like Adrian Broner. The difference is Adrian Broner is an honest coward. Adrian Broner admitted that for the money he wants to make, the PBC wants him to fight Godzilla. Terrence Crawford wants to make maximum money, the money he believes he should have been making his whole career, for fighting garbage. Why? He's looking at Munguia do it. He's looking at Canelo do it. He's looking at he's looking at all these other dudes. He's like, shit, why the fuck do I gotta fight competition? They're not fighting anybody. He's looking at Tank do it. Especially, oh my god, especially Tank. People are looking at Tank like, see, all I gotta do is talk some shit and say some shit and look a certain way. Cause that kid hasn't fought shit. And people are worshiping him and he's making tens of millions. Why the fuck do I gotta fight some damn body? Tank ain't fighting. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. Now speaking of like of the other fighter, Rashidi Ellis, do you think he should just go ahead and try to get that Villa rematch, or do you think he should just fight all the other welterweights that could be out there, like like a Cody Crowley, your Dennis Ugas, or maybe fight I don't know, just like anybody just to help him get his feet wet in the division deeper, right?
Hell no. If I'm Speedy Rashidi, I'm on Villa's ass ASAP. Rashidi went out there and laid the biggest egg. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Rashidi was robbed. But I didn't think that Rashidi would lose or look the way that he did. But one thing I did say before the fight, when Rashidi came back after 2 years of inactivity in his first fight on PBC, he weighed in at 153. People forgot about this. For his welterweight fight at PBC, he weighed in at 153. So this is his first time in 2 years weighing in under the welterweight limit. He has to reacclimate to being a real welterweight. The reason why he annihilated that guy in one round was because he was heavy as fuck. But now he's actually under the welterweight limit, so he has to actually reacclimate to being a welterweight. So I think he comes back and he beats this dude in a unanimous decision, to be quite honest. But now he knows that all that speedy Rashidi shit, like, look, you can have fast hand speed, but you can't gas out. Win the round, score your points. But there's no use in running your combinations if you're not going to hurt or drop or stop the guy. You're just wasting fucking energy. Get on your double jab, put all your speed into your defense, and box these motherfuckers. Yes, you're not going to get that many knockouts because you don't have the punch placement. If Rashidi wants to get knockouts, he's going to have to actually sit down on his punches as opposed to, and that's going to take some speed off his defense. And it's clear his chin probably isn't where it, completely needs to be. So, hopefully he has a new game plan. He doesn't blow his fucking wad in the first 4 rounds trying to look super fast or whatever. And then he'll beat this dude by UD and he can move on. So, yeah, if I'm Speedy, I ain't doing shit else because to the rest of the welterweight division, you look like a bitch, my guy. You look like a straight bitch. You came in with this dude who nobody knew, and you let him whoop your ass. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I think Speedy won the fight, but you sat there in real life and let this nigga knock you down back to back. Like, pathetic, bro. Absolutely pathetic. You Speedy Rashidi Ellis, this nigga slow as fuck, and you let him get on your ass in the last round. Like a fucking pathetic. And then what's worse is you talk shit about Boots. You were talking shit like you could really fuck with Boots on any level. You turned the contract down because you wanted more money for an easier fight, and you lost, nigga. This is exactly why you don't duck. Yeah, so nah, man, Rashidi need to take his goofy ass over there and rematch Villa. Because the thing is, too, if Villa decides to fight Boots, Villa's gonna get knocked the fuck out. and then Rashidi's gonna look double bad. She's gonna be like, wow, you were talking all that shit to Boots, and this is the guy that beat you. He just got slept. Damn. So yeah, nah, man. So yeah, Rashidi needs to get the fuck out of here. He needs to shut the fuck up, get back in camp, work on head movement, and rematch this guy and beat this dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the card itself really showed a lot of vulnerabilities in a lot of fighters, and I was also going to talk about the other two fighters that I have a lot of criticism for Brandon Lee and Vito Manecki, and
oh shit,
oh yeah,
shit.
I got really pissed off watching those fights, but I understand why they are doing that, but I wanted to get your take on it.
Well, I said right after the fight where Brandon Lee got dropped, I said Brandon Lee was a sacrifice waiting to happen. People didn't realize that until now. And then when he was on the Errol Spence versus Ugas prelims, he beat that guy up in a decision, but it looked like shit. Like, Brandon Lee's competition is steadily getting worse, and Brandon Lee is getting worse. So I think they need to just go. I mean, he's 27 and 0. He's about to be 30 and 0. They need to just sacrifice him to Gary Antoine Russell. Hopefully, after Gary Antoine Russell fights Alberto Puello, or whoever wins that fight, they need to just sacrifice him, because at the very least he can get his ass whooped in a title fight. He can make some money. He'll keep his dignity because he lost to a champion, and then he can go back and make some adjustments, or he can fuck off because he's not entertaining to watch. I mean, he's got 22 knockouts, but he hasn't fought anybody. He got knocked on his ass, and they lowered his competition. So it's just like, man, it's like whatever, bro. Like, yeah, I've never really been like super high up on Brandon Lee or anything. I mean, people were hyping on him because he got a lot of knockouts, but I'm like, that's cool, but look who he's fighting. So, and in Milnicki, I mean, what else do we need to say? Milnicki got the living shit beat out of him by a welterweight with 0 knockouts. Like, Milnicki got beat up by James Martin. I mean, what else do we really have to say about Milnicki? Milnicki is just a random, marginalized dude. Like, nothing about Milnicki is impressive. Like, he's cool. He can fight a little bit. He's making steady improvements, but Milnicki's at what, 154?
Yeah, 154.
Yeah, dude, like fucking Abel Ramos probably beat the shit out of him. Jesus Ramos would probably beat the shit out of him. Joe Spencer probably beat his ass. Tony Harrison probably beat his ass. Like, I mean, come on, like, is he supposed to be a future champion or some shit? He's not good. Like, I mean, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know. I think Milnicki's gonna be one of those fighters that greased up as a good sacrifice, because he ain't getting no belt. He ain't getting no fucking belt. I think too. I think a lot of these dudes might be being laid up for Charles Conwell, and I hope to God they are. Like, all these dudes, like Milnicki Milnicki and Spencer and shit. If Showtime could get Charles Conwell, they need to be sacrificing these niggas ASAP. Let Charles Conwell clean all these dudes up, climb through the rankings, and get in title position.
Shit, Erickson Lubin can knock him out too.
Oh my God, Erickson Lubin was smoked. Yo. Oh my God, I wouldn't even want to see that. Man, they can get knocked out like 4 fucking rounds fucking with Lubin. That's fucking child abuse. I wouldn't even want to see that shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a matchmaker, I'd probably put him in there with maybe Terrell Gausha or maybe Jamonte Clark. But
no, Jamonte Clark probably beat him. Terrell Gausha is good. Yeah, no, Jamonte Clark's too big. Jamonte Clark beat Fundora and didn't get the credit. He got a fucking draw, and they never rematched that.
Yeah,
so
Fundora would get destroyed in a rematch.
Yeah, and I know, and Gausha knocked Jamonte Clark the fuck out in the second round. I know that, but like I said, Jamonte Clark is too big. He's too big. He'll just keep Milnicki at range the entire fight. Milnicki is the type of fighter you can control with a good jab. That's it. So yeah, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah, so I wouldn't even want to. I wouldn't even want to see. I wouldn't even want to see him and Javante Parker. It'd be boring as fuck. He would just get UD.
How about Israel Madrimov?
Oh, dude, no, stop. Majima beat the shit out of him, Nikki. Oh my god, that's bullshit. Like, I wouldn't mind Nikki versus Michael Soro though, or Greg Vendetti if he's still fighting. That'd be cool.
Oh my god, Greg Vendetti, yo, I used to trash him so much. I used to talk a lot of shit about him. Like, dude, he got knocked out badly.
The guy's a plumber. Like he's Greg Vendetti is a fighter that still has a full time job. He's a plumber. He owns his own plumbing business.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, like he's not like a boxer. He's a plumber that boxes sometimes.
Yeah, so he's a full-time worker. So yeah, I can definitely respect that out of him. I don't have anything against that. But
Yeah, I mean he was never gonna be good. He started boxing as an adult. He started boxing at like 23.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But like, I mean, like, I was gonna ask you like about that. Like, there are fighters out there that do become champions, when they come out late. But how is that possible? Is it just like you have them, like the natural skill set, or you put in like the time and effort to be at that level, right?
It's a combination of both things. So sometimes people just come in at a very opportunistic time when the field of opponents is limited, and also they have the natural physical attributes to be good at fighting. The reason why it's better, well, I mean, boxing is like anything. If you started as a child, you're going to be better at it than when you're an adult because as a child, your brain is more receptive to information. And also, one thing that's important about boxing is that all the small twitch moves that you need to be a good boxer, a good puncher, all those muscles, that muscle development starts from a child. If you're an adult and you've never flexed certain muscles, certain reflexes, it's going to be incredibly hard for you to beat someone who's been doing it since they were a kid. Unless you have like a divine gift. Like, for example, Wilder's Power. Wilder's Power makes no sense. Wilder's Power is like George Foreman, Ernie Shavers, shit like that. So that's why he can compete with anybody because he has the ability to just lay you the fuck down. That's why he started late. Whereas you have someone like Nate Gallimore that started boxing at 19. Nate Gallimore sucks dick. Nate Gallimore is fucking terrible. I mean, does he have the ability? Did he have the ability to win some fights he lost? Yes, but there's a certain psychological issue to it as well. Like Nate Gallimore is afraid to throw punches. He's afraid to throw punches. He doesn't get his head off the line. He has very low activity. His gas tank sucks ass. So yeah, it's a combination of all those things. But also, what's important is hand-eye coordination and your ability to receive information because boxing is physics in motion. You have to understand the mechanics of the body and also be able to implement complex game plans with, in the heat of the moment. It's almost like being a quarterback, except you don't have a team. It's just you. It's just you. So it's a combination of things. It's about your physical attributes. It's about your intellectual acuity. And it's also about the division you're going to compete in. Like, it will be very hard for someone who just started boxing as an adult to come in at welterweight and do some damage. Welterweight is too fucking talented. There is too much talent at welterweight for you to have a good shot. But if you come in at middleweight, if you come in at super middleweight, fucking light heavyweight, cruiserweight, you can do some real damage. You can do some real damage. Like, look at Brandon Glanton. That nigga started boxing as an adult. He graduated college, got his master's degree, and then started boxing after football. And look at him. I didn't see the David Light fight, but I'm pretty sure, based on what I've heard, he got robbed because they didn't want him to beat up. Yeah, because they didn't want him to beat up. Yeah, they didn't want him to beat the shit out of Lawrence Okolie. Lawrence Okolie is isn't he an Olympian?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Lawrence Okolie is an Olympian that started boxing as a child. Brandon Glanton would beat the shit out of him. And they knew it. Because Brandon Glanton has the physical attributes because he plays football and he has the mental, the psychological and the mental and the intellectual capacity to master boxing fundamentals. Because look at him. While he was in school playing football, he got a bachelor's and a master's degree. So he has the physical and he has the intellectual. And they know that. That's why they have to rob his ass. So
Yeah,
it all depends.
yeah. Like
But also, oh sorry.
oh no, no. Like I wanted to clarify. Like I looked up Lawrence Akali's Olympic record. He placed his spot at the Rio 2016 Olympics, and I believe he lost in like the first round or second or third round of that tournament.
Right, absolutely. But the fact of the matter is that he's had a better amateur career than Glanton. Glanton barely has any amateur fights, and has already fought better competition than Akole. F.A. Jogbo, no, not F.A. Jogbo, F.A. Tobor Apochi would beat fucking Akole. Apochi would beat Akole.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so and Brandon Glanton fucking cleared him. So yeah, no, like that's the shit I be talking about. That's the exact shit I be talking about.
yeah. But yeah, back to what I was saying, like about that, like if you're trying to be good in the sport and you are coming in late, like shouldn't you just be consistently committing all your time a lot to you know basically work on the job to keep getting better so that way you can like succeed a lot better long term, once you get up to those world title fights, right?
Absolutely, but that's another thing that's very important that you just said. When you're not an amateur fighter and you don't have a coach that's committed to you already, boxing gyms are very expensive. I know because I'm in this situation. I couldn't afford a boxing gym until like maybe a few years ago because of the money that I was making working and because I spent so much time in school and with hobbies and chasing girls around, shit like that. So now I'm at a position where I don't have an amateur background, but I could pay a coach. I could pay for a membership at a boxing gym. Because the thing is, when you're a regular and you have no amateur credentials or anything, you have to pay like 100, sometimes 200, sometimes $300 a month to participate in a boxing gym and get the same coaching as people who want to fight in the amateurs and who want to actually go pro. But usually, if you start fighting as an amateur and you actually have some amateur fights, the gym membership, they'll reduce the price or allow you to train for free as long as you stay active as an amateur. That's how boxing gyms work. So if you don't have a coach that's committed to you and you have no experience or connection with the gym, you have to finance everything. You have to pay for your gear. You have to pay for your food. You have to pay for your camps. You have to pay your coach. You have to pay for your sparring, your water, and you have to keep a roof over your head because the amateurs pay nothing.
Yeah.
So it's easy. It's easy for a kid who's living at home, whose parents pay for everything. But when you're an adult, you got to pay your own bills. It's much harder.
Yeah, that's funny how you say that because when I used to wrestle back in high school, wrestling in high school is nowhere near amateurs in boxing, where you're dropping all that money to go out to the like events, but it clearly shows like boxing doesn't have a proper financial structure for you to like not have all this financial garnishment that's taken away your ability to get better at the sport. And I think honestly, like that's what boxing needs. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like advocating at one point to say that boxing should be put into schools like colleges, high school, or just like have a more marketized like I know that like the sport is really tough right now, but in a perfect world, like boxing would be like number one on all like all cylinders if all the money was there, right?
Well,
So
that's a
like I
good.
just think like oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Continue.
No, no, no. I was just gonna finalize to say, like, in a perfect world, boxing would be awesome. Like, if you had the ability to like go to a gym and just pay for a very good deal for you to not have to waste so much money to become a fighter, and things were financially, supported to you to get up there, in the sport that you want to do, like boxing. Like, I think boxing would be awesome if it had something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Boxing as an NCAA sport is a fantastic idea. I've thought about this so much. That would be fucking dope. Like if they
Yeah,
have
like
boxing,
Duke versus
I
North
think that,
Carolina boxing.
well, yeah, it would basically be like it would basically be like individuals for sure. Yeah, it would basically be like different individuals for sure, of course. But yeah, like having it like wrestling, that'd be so cool. That'd be fucking awesome. Like if they had boxing in college, for I would have definitely joined. That would have been dope as hell.
Yeah, same here. I would have done it, and I would have. Oh man, like if I didn't choose wrestling, like in high school, and boxing was included in high school sports leading into college, I could have seen myself doing a lot more success doing that. And like if they had that like at like the major level where like, let's just say if you started at community college in boxing and then you got offers to fight at bigger schools, like, you facing guys at like, all the D1 programs, and you go into invitational tournaments like they have nationwide and globally, like that would be awesome, right? Like that would be lit.
Yeah, no, NCAA boxing would be dope. That's a really good idea. I think that's something that should be looked at. But it probably don't want to do it because of all the shit. They don't want to do it because of all the like the traumatic brain injuries and all that stuff. All that shit is complicated. And not to mention with football, they make so much money in merchandising via jerseys. You can't really make a jersey for a boxer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can't really make a jersey for a boxer and shit like that. And also a lot of people don't like boxing. Like that's the reality. Like, a lot of people just don't like boxing. So, football is more popular, easier to monetize shit like that. So, that's why they probably won't do it because they make so much money doing other shit. They're like, why would I get into boxing when I'm making money doing all this other shit?
Yeah, the financial opportunities would be so large if if it was funded, like I could
People would have to
like
watch it. They'd have to make it. They'd have to, like people would just have to watch it. They'd have to get venues and get people to actually come and watch the colleges like fight each other and shit.
yeah. I just figured that I'd just bring out the idea just to talk about it. That's all. But
It is a good idea. It is NCAA boxing is definitely a good idea.
yeah, because like when I did wrestling in high school, like they had like there's certain wrestlers out there nationwide that were being looked at, but once you got into college, like you had like the big networks talking like about you, because if you're like competing in those tournaments a lot more nationwide, like you get looked at a lot fast, and that makes like your name a lot huge and bigger. So that's why you hear guys like Kyle Dake, Jordan Burroughs, like all those dudes, like even Tyron Woodley. He even talked about his wrestling career, and he said when he did wrestling for University of Missouri, I think he was like top leading wrestlers out of his entire team that led I think he won like a national title, if I'm not mistaken, but that's just
Yeah,
like a yeah. So
yeah. Most UFC dudes, yeah, most UFC dudes have a wrestling background.
yeah,
A lot of them have wrestling. Well, the Americans, I should say, a lot of them have wrestling. Some of them have like karate, jujitsu, shit like that. But yeah, no, I definitely think I definitely think that would be a good idea. It's fun, good exercise. You do it for men's, women's, So yeah, I do think that'd be a dope ass idea.
yeah. I'm actually gonna try to like talk to Tim Witherspoon Jr. about it. Try to see if maybe me and him could try to push for like an online petition, like maybe do something like that. Like I don't know, like
Well,
Try to.
enough schools would have to want boxing at their school, and like I said, because boxing is more difficult to monetize. Like it's hard. Like bro, even boxing in the like amateur boxing in the Olympics, there's hardly any money. Why do you think more boxers are just turning pro? There's no money in it. That's why it's very hard to monetize. That's why a lot of colleges didn't want it. Whereas like wrestling, look at the W look at the WWE and the UFC. You have a place where they can go where they can, make money and shit. Whereas outside of college, you go to the Olympics, there's no money. And in the pros, it's very hard to actually get to a spot where you can make money. In the pros, making money isn't even really about skill set. It's about popularity. So, it's too hard to monetize boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you got people that suck fucking ass making a bunch of money. Like so yeah, but boxing, getting to the top is like in the amateurs getting to the top is about skill set. In the pros, getting to the top is all just about sucking dick and being popular. It's not real. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, come on, bro.
I'm thinking about wanting to sign up for like the WWE now.
I mean, shit. That's what boxing is becoming. Boxing is becoming the fucking WWE.
Oh my god, that's just crazy. Cause like I was like looking up what the tryouts for like, the WWE, because like I was just kind of like surfing around the internet, and I think like the WWE has like open public tryouts that they give you, and if you're good like skills wise, then they'll just like pick you up for it.
Yeah, they have auditions. You can audition. Yeah, I mean, because you have to be able to play a character. You have to be in good physical shape. You have to be a draw. But yeah, no, like I said, boxing is not about getting to the top as far as money. It's not about skill set. If you want to like get to the top, winning belts and shit, I mean, yeah, that's about skill set. But making money in boxing, no, it's just about popularity. It's not about real skills. Like I said, you got motherfuckers in boxing making plenty of money, haven't been doing jack shit. Like look at Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford hasn't been fucking doing anything. I mean, shit. Look at Amir Khan. Amir Khan's made a bunch of fucking money in boxing. His fucking ass gets knocked out once every other fight. Like, come on. Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, it's not
As an
about
alumni,
fucking.
getting
Yeah,
knocked
it's
out.
not. Yeah, it's not about. It's not even close to being about skill. It's just about popularity.
Yeah, like I was talking to this one. There's this one female fighter that I speak to, and she's a great fighter. I love watching her fight. Her name is Rihanna Rios, and she gave me a very good example of like how the amateurs doesn't give you any like you know give you any clarity in boxing, but she was on the same team, I believe, of the during like the same like what the Olympic team, right? That was with I think she was with like Clarissa Shields, Michaela Mayer, Marlon Esparza, and all those other women. And I think she was like one of the top leading amateur fighters in the country, where she could have made it to the like Olympics, but things didn't go her way with like the amateur system, and she was basically telling me that the reason why women even go that route is because they're not so confident in the financial aspects of going pro, but now more women are starting to go pro rather than not going to let the amateurs for that long, because it's like the amateur system is so broken now, where that the teams are like basically favorited to politicize certain people and keep people protected from other fighters that actually should be looked at more and promoted like a certain way for them to flourish in their careers before even thinking about going pro. But
Yeah, people get robbed in the amateurs.
she also brought that up too. But
Yeah, people. Yeah, the popular fighter, or like, I mean, shit. Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley said that he actually beat Ward in the amateurs but because Ward's aunt was a fucking judge, Ward got it. I didn't watch their fight, but I mean, I believe
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah, I mean,
That
I didn't watch their fight, but if Ward's aunt was really one of the judges, then yeah, that makes a lot of sense. 'Cause that shit happens all the time. Even with Gary Antoine Russell and Boots, people keep saying, "Oh, well, y'all remember Gary Antoine Russell beat Boots in the amateur." Boots has come out and said multiple times that shit was robbery. It didn't even go like that. And just look at Mayweather. Mayweather went to the Olympics and got fucking robbed. So did Roy Jones. So it's like none of that shit fucking matters, bro. Like people, all the old fucking amateurs. This is why like dudes like Devin Haney could fucking skip the Olympics and come in and whoop ass, and now people are scared to fight him.
yeah, because it's garnered all that experience to become a better pro.
Exactly. Amateur experience means fucking nothing. Like people keep
Yeah, like
like fucking I mean it helps, don't get it twisted, but it's not the end all be all. Like Butayev whooped Stanionis ass in the amateurs. Look what
oh
happened when they
yeah,
were pros.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Butayev whooped Stanionis ass. And then they come to the pros, Stanionis beat him. So it's like it's different here, bro.
yeah. That's so crazy, man. Because I didn't know like about that, but Stanionis, he was talking like about that, saying that Butayev, just outclassed him, but then years later, like he's gotten way better, and he was saying, even though that fight was tough, but he had like the style to beat him, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Stanionis is more of a pro style. Butayev comes in, applies a lot of pressure, throws some decent punches. He's very aggressive. That shit gets you lots of points in the amateurs when you don't have any time to adjust. When you have time to adjust, when you can get your jab off, work the body and the rounds are longer, then Butayev's style sucks. I mean, he doesn't suck, but his style struggles. That's why he gets knockouts. And when he gets decisions, he kind of struggles. Like he went the distance with Besputin. Besputin beat him. Don't get me wrong, it got overturned to a no contest because Besputin's a drug cheat. But fucking Butayev still lost the fight. I watched the fight. He lost. Like that nigga lost.
Wow,
So
that's crazy.
yeah. So it's just context, man. Like I said, people just be around here sucking dick. They're just so thirsty. They want their fighters to be all this shit. But there's a bunch of different factors that go in. And that's why people talk about, oh, he's a fucking Olympic gold medalist and shit. Fucking so? Like, bro, Lomachenko was the fucking most decorated amateur in all of history. Couldn't even beat Tiafimo. Tiafimo wasn't shit as a
Uh,
fucking amateur. Tiafimo ain't accomplished Tiafimo ain't accomplished a quarter of what Lomachenko accomplished in the amateurs, and Lomachenko couldn't do shit. Lomachenko couldn't do shit with him. So I look in. I just get tired of hearing that lame shit.
yeah, that's just crazy. Um, I was gonna switch up the fight cards and talk about Big Shot Shaw and this really stacked card that's on for top rank.
I
Um,
know it's looking good.
yeah, you got Mr. Floyd Cashflow Diaz. He's on the card, and then who else you got? You have Abraham Nova, in which I'll get to him in a bit. But on top of that, you have who else is on the card too? There's who's the other fighter? Um, you got guys like Brian Norman Jr. He's on the card. Rohan Polanco, I've heard of him. He's good. Haven Brady, he's coming back. And then you got Dante Benjamin. I kind of like him. And then Shushu, he's actually coming back. He's going up against that tough Mexican veteran Juan Antonio Lopez. That's going to be a good fight. And then Guido, he's going up against Jonathan Rice. Wow, that might be a toss up. That might be a toss up. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. What do you think about the card?
I think it's actually a good card. This is actually one of those. This is one of those rare top rank cards. I'm like actually pretty excited about. Lots of good matchups. I think Cashflow is going to do well. I like Cashflow personally. He has a lot of skills. He just needs to keep his hands up. I know he's been getting tagged recently, trying to be more aggressive for the fans to get more knockouts, which is, again, another example of fan representation. Fans suck you off if you look terrible but get knockouts. But weird how that didn't carry over to Wilder. Anyways, um, but yeah, no, he's gonna look good. I like Shushu. I think Shushu's gonna do what needs to be done. I haven't done much research on this opponent. I'll probably do that later on this week, but I'm taking Shushu for that one. Delonte Johnson, those dudes. I mean, cool. They'll probably win their fights because they're probably fighting nobody anyway. But good for him. I like all the heavyweight action. The heavyweight action is dope. Rice has fought a lot of different heavyweight styles and has made a lot of improvements, and he's tough. I just think that this fucking giant Italian dude is fresher. He's fresher. He has very fast hands, and well, not very fast, but has noticeably fast hands. He's very strong, and I think he'll probably just overwhelm Rice. I mean, I want Rice to win, but I just don't think he's going to. Uh, I think Big Shot is going to take FA to a decision. FA is like Wilder from Wish.com. Don't get it twisted, but he does have power. He is a quality boxer. He can do some damage on the inside. He mixes up his shots, varies his punch selection, and he follows them off the jab with a good straight right and uppercuts on the inside. So Shot gonna have to be careful, make some adjustments, work the jab of his own, work the combinations, make sure to keep FA on the back foot. I mean, he could drop FA, but I don't think he's gonna stop him, especially with his performance against Dwayko. I know he got a stoppage there. That stoppage was kind of bullshit. 'Cause he wasn't gonna stop Dwayko. So yeah, I think he's gonna give him probably a UD. I mean, he could stop him, but I just don't think Shaw is going to. But yeah, I got shot by UD on that one. And uh, what was the other ones?
You got Brian Norman, and
Right, Brian Norman Jr. It's about time. I've been meaning to see. I've been looking forward to Brian Norman Jr. because apparently Brian Norman Jr. stops everybody in sparring. He whoops everyone's ass in sparring. Like he whoops Tank in sparring. He whoops Terrence Crawford in sparring. I'm like, okay, cool. Sparring is great. What's going on with his pro career? Is he fighting anybody? So I'm glad
yeah,
he's finally. Yeah, I'm glad he's finally getting some fights because, I mean, he seems cool, but I'm tired of hearing about what he does in sparring. Can we get some fights?
yeah, he's been inactive for well over a year and 1 month. So that's not a good sign. And actually, I'm gonna put the blame on Black Prime because he was supposed to be back in the ring in like what, November or October, or actually no, September. He was supposed to be back in the ring by September, and then some weird mess came around where Black Prime, they weren't, I guess, like treating him right, and he wasn't getting like his fights lined up with them. And I guess, like, according to his father, this is just like word of mouth. I don't know if this is true, but they just basically like stopped doing business with him because I guess it ended up being shady, and he's just like, nah, screw it. I'm not gonna do business with them. So I guess maybe leading up to this point, maybe this is where they had their opportunity with Top Rank, and maybe this is like a step in the right direction. But I don't know why they would go this way. Like I think like uh, I would hope that this is like a one and done. I don't think Top Rank is gonna offer anything to him because one, he fights at welterweight, so you know I would assume if you want all the heavy work, you should go over to the PBC and get that smoke. So I guess we'll find out and see how Brian's gonna move in his career.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Top Rank is just a good place to just eat without having a lot of risk. It's a good place to hide out and just develop and get some steady cash before you start making other career moves. So I don't blame him. He's been inactive. You can't start out fighting, top smoke or whatever. Like look at Rashidi. Rashidi fought one fight on PBC, got stepped up a little, and then lost. so it's, so it's like it's like you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, it's sad.
No.
But it's just like how is it that Top Rank is able to find these opponents like so quickly for guys? But it's like every time when like a PBC card gets set up, it's always tough smoke. It's not just like these guys are just out, let the rank for like 3 to 6 months. Like, when they're ready to fight, they're being lined up to fight like really, really tough guys that you probably never heard of.
I mean, that's how Bob does business. ESPN is their marketing is undefeated. I keep saying ESPN marketing is undefeated. That's how they do things. That's how they've always done things. And fans don't demand anything more. The fans don't care. Fans just want dudes to look good. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just crazy because it's like I've been to 2 top rank fights, and like honestly, what they try to make it out on TV, it's not like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they try to make it seem like that their like events are like jam packed, but I don't see that to be true. Like to me, it feels like you're in like a really small venue, and it doesn't seem like that they're really selling out, a lot of venues.
Well, I'm sure that when they do like Madison Square Garden or like whatever room Tiafimo fights in or whatever room Berlanga fights in New York, I'm pretty sure those do like those are probably sellouts. But everywhere else, I'm not really sure. I don't really keep track of that information. I don't really care too much. But yeah, it just. I mean, it is what it is. They don't have to really worry about making money because they're attached to ESPN. ESPN is owned by Disney. So they have a blank check. They'll never go broke. It doesn't matter if they actually make money in boxing or not because they'll always have money. That's why they don't care about putting on decent fights because they know they're attached to ESPN, attached to Disney. So they'll never run out of cash.
Yeah. So like, oh, that's really how they're able to get away with like marginal fights.
Yeah, they don't have to put on big fights because they don't need to worry about a return on investment. Disney is there. Disney gives them a blank check.
That's so crazy, man. Like, because for all the fights that I've seen on the Top Rank cards, like for the Berlanga card and then the Joe Smith Jr. versus Gefford undercard prelims, like those fights were just flying by quick. Like I was just like laughing. Like I was talking to like my dad and grandfather like about it, and I'm like, yo, like these fights are garbage. And they were telling me like, yeah, like they kind of look like that, that the like opponents that they are fighting are just coming in just to get knocked out.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of their purpose. Like I said, people will say that Top Rank has the best matchmakers in boxing, which is true. They know how to build someone, turn him into a star for absolutely accomplishing nothing, and have the people believe that person is the best fighter in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. One last topic before I sign out. What's your final prediction for Ray Vargas and O'Shaquie Foster coming up?
Oh, when is that? Isn't that the 30th?
February 11th.
Oh shit. Okay. This is not my final prediction, but currently I'm leaning Ray Vargas by decision.
Wow.
And that's where I'm at with it. Ray Vargas is very tall, he's very long, but he's very aggressive and quick. He has a solid gas tank, and his chin isn't, he is chinny, but the thing is he doesn't get knocked out. He just gets knocked down. And in the fights where he has been knocked down, sometimes he's been able to come back and win the round based on his punch activity. That's dangerous. He's bigger than O'Shaquie. He'll punch with O'Shaquie, and O'Shaquie's going to have to get inside of his jab range to effectively land that hook to put Ray Vargas down or out. So, I mean, it's O'Shaquie. O'Shaquie can win. Don't get me wrong, O'Shaquie can win, but right now I'm edging Vargas.
Yeah, Vargas, he's been hot, with his, win streak. And I just have like
I
a
mean,
really
I
deep,
mean,
yeah,
he's undefeated. He's undefeated.
yeah. I think Ochaka, he has like 2 losses, right?
I'm not sure.
Oh. Yeah, but I mean, if he pulls off the upset to beat Ray Vargas, like, that's a certified. So I, like, I want to see Oshaki win, but I think he's gonna be in for like a really difficult fight.
I mean, they both are, because the reality is, Oshaki, he gets the right hook off. He can sleep fucking Ray Vargas. I mean, he can put him down and really rock his shit and finish him off. But then again, Ray Vargas is rare. The reason why he's undefeated is because it's rare that a big giant opponent right there throws so many punches. He's kind of like the Fundora down there in those little weight classes, because he's just so tall. Like when he was at 122, it didn't make any sense. Like he's tall as fuck and he's fighting at 122. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy because he has such a huge frame and just everything like about Ray Vargas is like honestly he should be fighting at welterweight. He shouldn't even be fighting at 130 or 126.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah, that's like crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
yeah.
oh, I was just gonna say I gotta probably sign off because I gotta get some sleep.
Okay. Yeah, most definitely. Like I'll talk with you come fight night, and I'll catch with you later.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you. I'll see you later.
Have a good one.
All right, peace out. All right, y'all. Shout out to D-Hive. I hope you guys had a great time listening to this episode. This will be uploaded to the podcast along with my other episode that I have with Combat Tool Bag. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Shout out to the mighty LDBC TWT family, and I am out. Here's the outro.